love that the fans miss me and want me and desire more of me. But I think my role as it relates to Married to Medicine has been etched in stone as the creator, and executive producer. And I think I left my mark. Honey, the girls are going in a very different direction.
The show certainly does look a lot different from the show you created, doesn't it?
Well, it looks different, but to me, I see a lot of the same old pettiness. To me, it's almost as if there is an unwritten rule or script that says you have to isolate, put someone on an island, bully, invite and uninvite. I mean, we've seen that. We've seen it 10 seasons ago with me. So, I hate that part of it. I don't think you have to isolate, and be mean and bully people. I think you can read the girls and, you can have an opinion, but there's no need to minimize somebody to that level.
You're absolutely right. Well, speaking of and minimizing people, Quad, a former friend of yours who's a cast member and Married to Medicine, or was a cast member, how do you feel about Quad being kicked off the show?
I'm not sure, honestly, how I feel about it. I think I'm still kind of taking it in. I'm not sure if I think that is actually going to play out with her being off the show. I don't know if it's to get this type of response or get us, to talk about it. I think right now the show has a lot of afterthoughts and a lot of commentary about, her role or lack thereof with the role. So I'm not sure how I feel about it. I do think the way in which it was done was very low. I do. I didn't like them inviting her, all those miles away to California just to send her home. I thought it was pathetic. And I think that there are different depths of desperation. And I just didn't like it. For whoever it was, forget that it was Quad. I think that they should be better than that, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like any of it. It was brutal to watch, and I typically watch it on Kempire or if you get or people get. A lot of the bloggers get snippets of it, but I watched that episode and I was clutching my pearls. What can I say? I felt horrible for her.
Well, it sounds like you kind of have a soft spot for Quad. And I know you guys have been friends for many, many, many years. If Quad was to reach out to you tomorrow, what would that conversation sound like?
To be perfectly honest with you, it's not about Quad. I have a soft spot for women. I think that just as women, we should treat each other, treat one another a certain way. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I shade the girls and do the most, but I have integrity and I have a moral compass. And I feel like I'm cut from a different cloth as it relates to that. So I don't know what a conversation between Quad and I will look like, because for me, she still hasn't taken some accountability with things that happen in our relationship or friendship, and a lot of the lies that were told about me. However, I think Quad has been through a lot, just as I have. And I think you grow up. And, so I'm not sure what that conversation would look like, but my heart goes out to her with the way she was treated.
I'll take the next one here. And I'm just wondering, for someone that's currently in an unscripted television or pursuing that venture, what advice would you give them based on the experience with you and what we witnessed with Quad that just happened?
Don't do a show with a lot of fish, a lot of women. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. No, be authentic. Be your best self. You may not necessarily fit in, but sometimes sticking out like a sore thumb works. Be yourself. Whether people love it or hate it, be your best you. And, I just think you can't go wrong when you're being authentic. I think, people sense that, and that's very relatable. And, they'll love you or hate you, but, they'll respect you for being you. Nobody can beat you at being you, you know?
Real good point. Yes.
Absolutely. You know what? I want to circle back to Quad since we're on the topic.
Ooh, we giving we giving Miss Four a whole lot of time.
We sure is. Well, you know what? She's a hot topic and she was trending. So, you know, we might as well, since we're here, we might as well.
Okay.
How do you feel? How did Quad's allegations affect you at that time?
Ooh, let me tell you something. I think that was the lowest of the low. And to hear these ladies talk of accountability so much and know that I was drugged that way in terms of being, you know, accused of being Rudolph with a white nose, and the fact that she would say these things on national TV and knew it wasn't true, and none of them, you know, came to my defense and knew how much, you know, I had carried myself as a woman, and it really hurt me. It tore into me, and it took something away from me. And what hurt me was that I was dealing with other things. I was slaying bigger dragons, and I could not sue her at the time, because that's a lot of the questions that I get. You know, why didn't I give her defamation? I would have, but honey, if you're roasting a beluga whale, you can't go after, you know, a sardine. You know, it's just my focus was not on what Quad was saying, but I was hurt by it. But I was hurt more than anything that this group of doctors and doctors' wives knew, you know, I had been a drug rep. I had been a reputable medical salesperson, and I was the owner of the franchise. And I've always been professional, and I've never done recreational drugs. So I thought it was bullshit, quite frankly. And I think that, you know, those are some questions that they should still be asking, and they knew it. You know, they knew it was wrong, and they went along with it. So I at that point, I knew that their hate for me outweighed anything.
Now, you put a lot of Americans to work.
Yes, honey, I did. Talk about it, Steve. Talk about it, Steve. Give me more, giving the people jobs.
Exactly.
Yes, honey.
So when it appeared that they flipped on you on the show and everything,
Like flip on Mars. Yes, they did, honey.
what was your biggest struggle with that? What was your internal battle?
I don't know. I faced a lot of battles. You know, I faced a lot of battles with that, you know, loyalty. I faced the battle of, you know, this was my dream, and I shared it with these ladies, and I never, ever, I wanted us to all grow together. And it really, really bothered me, because I felt as if, I don't know, it just tore me. It tore me up in the inside. Not that they owed me anything, but I just thought the least they could do is say thank you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think that they gave me their asses to kiss. And it just really, I just didn't understand it. It was hurtful.
Shame on them.
Yeah, it was very hurtful. But I think that in the end, you know, you don't sometimes do things, you know, for people to say, you know, thank you. Sometimes God used you as a vessel. And I had to realize that's what I was. I was a vessel. They don't owe me anything. Respect would be great, but you know what? It comes, I get it from other places. And so I'm blessed.
You truly are. You truly are. I have a two-part question, because since we're on the topic of doctors,
Huh?
we're going to get into some things. Dr. Jackie. Now, she's been making some headlines lately, but let me start with my first question. I remember you took, it was like a 5-panel drug test that went back 5 years, hair follicles and all kinds of stuff. And you were looking for support, and you said, Jackie, can you please read the drug test? Because you're a doctor, this is very technical stuff.
Yeah.
And she could have exonerated you at that point, but she didn't. How did that make you feel?
Although it made me feel bad, I think that it showed who she was. For me, it did. I saw exactly who she was, because outside of me, she took a medical oath. I'm not her patient, but to see a drug test and not even say, no, this is wrong or this is right, but this translates to X, Y, and Z. I saw something different in her, you know, and it had kind of poked out in different situations, But I'm not surprised with any of the things that's going on with the controversy with Jackie, because she's shown that since season 1. We've seen how she treated obese ladies, and we've seen how she's judged a lot of women. I mean, we give her grace because she's Dr. Jackie, but she ain't Jesus. And and she makes mistakes like the rest of us. So I think one of the problems with the show is that we have put her so much on a pedestal. And why? Because because her patients are celebrities. We got to do better with that. And I think that was a part of my lesson in this journey, putting people on pedestals. Yes, they're doctors. I wanted to pay homage because of all the work and the sacrifice, but they're still people. I mean, and some of them, like my mama could say, it's nothing worse than the educated fool.
Oh, yeah. We love Mama Lucy.
I know. Yeah. I do.
Yeah. You're right. You can't go to Dr. Jackie's office weighing more than 175 without her tearing your head off. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You are so right. So what are your thoughts on Jackie saying that Black women cry wolf and lie to get out of work while pregnant? This is a doctor saying this.
I think that it's horrid for her to plant that kind of seed about Black women when we are already fighting so many stereotypes and preconceived notions. But I think it's great that she's telling you what she really thinks. I think it's great that we've seen what she thinks about Black women and and think that we're crying wolf. And I think that we just have to take a step back, and when people show you who they are, believe them. So I hate that she's made those comments. But I saw who she was when she compared me to herpes, and she's an OBGYN and treat people with venereal diseases daily. So I was one of the victims of her spewed hate, and people kind of swept it under the rug because it was Dr. Jackie, and we got to stop doing that with people.
Definitely.
No matter how many letters they have behind their name. Yeah.
Feel bad for her.
Yeah, I can't imagine how patients feel. Yeah. Well, I think she's at the place now. I don't think she takes like Medicare or Medicaid. She has the upper echelon patient. Like you have to be a certain. So there's a certain type of patient that Jackie now sees. Yeah.
That's pretty ironic considering on her conference call with VP Harris. They talked about Medicaid patients and how we need to advocate for them. And Jackie agreed with that and gave the impression that that's the community she serves, when in fact, that's not true.
No, it's not. And I don't think that is the person that we need or want representing that patient population. My sister almost died in childbirth. She dealt with the exact same thing. She said to her doctor, I feel a certain kind of way. I think she may have had toxemia or, and it just, her doctor didn't listen. And she almost, so we have to listen. When your patients, I tell Aiden every single time he walks in to see a patient, I say, you go in there with an open heart and open mind. Mm-hmm. You can you really truly have to listen to your patients. You can't judge people. You really can't. So I think it's horrible that she said those things, but I'm not surprised. And I'm surprised that everybody in the world is acting so surprised, because y'all know who Dr. Jackie is. I told y'all a long time ago.
You did.
Y'all know who she is.
You certainly did.
Mm-hmm. She showed her slip a long time ago.
Exposed.
Mm-hmm. You have this core group who think that they can vote everybody in and vote everybody out, and that's what they're doing. But before it's all said and gone, they're gonna find themselves with 2 viewers. Right. So see how that works out for the Golden Girls.
Not the Golden Girls.
It works out. I think anybody can be on the cutting board the way things are going. They don't think that. That's the scary part.
They
don't know that. They have no idea. Anybody can be on the cutting board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who would you consider to be the biggest crab in the bucket in all of this?
I think that they are marching to the same beat so much, I can't tell anymore. They're all following each other. Nobody has a voice. anymore. I don't know. They're starting to do the same thing, vote the same way. It's so stupid to me. I mean, it's so petty and minuscule. I don't know. I'm being honest. I don't really know anymore. I mean, they feed off each other. It's toxic energy amongst them now. They feeding off each other. I really don't know anymore. You know, I thought one person was pulling, you know, the strings. I can't even blame the producers because they'll ask you to do anything. It doesn't mean you have to do it. You can't say no. You can. And so I don't really know. I don't know who's feeding. I think that a lot of it, though, is everything that they were saying about me is how they are. I think they feel like they're the core group. You keep hearing this core and the originals, and, you know, like there's a sense of there's supposed to be loyalty or entitlement, you know, for them to be there. And I just find that awfully ironic. When they were cast on the show themselves and can always be cast off.
Employees.
You know? So I just find it awfully ironic that they're all feeding off each other. I think that they're doing that, a lot of the originals, you know, because they're nervous. And if they don't stick together or pretend to, then it kind of defies the whole concept of an ensemble cast. Right. You know, and that's why they're saying the stuff to Quad, like you're being iced out, you're not a part of the group, you know, you don't want to, you know, you don't want to be here. And I'm not saying that she does, I don't know. But I know that that is a part of the language and the narrative. Those are the same things they said to me, you know, so I just know that that is a script that they kind of regurgitate amongst each other. I remember saying to one of the doctors saying to me, I think it was Dr. Simone, I remember going to her crying and saying, this is just wrong. I feel like y'all, and I ain't no punk, like I can take it, I ain't no weak, but it was hard. I said, you know, Simone, what's up? Like, y'all just coming to me, I feel like y'all ganging up on me. Like, I don't get this. This ain't good. This is not even good for the show. Like, why are y'all doing this? She said to me, I'll never forget, oh, the audience loves when we come up against you. If they get more ratings or, you know, in their mind, or it gets more talk or hype or whatever. So they think it's cute.
And it's not. It wasn't cute.
It's not.
To witness.
It's not.
No.
Even if it's quieter, for me to say that, you have to know. I mean, I think it's horrible that none of them would stand up. And I don't know what Quad did to them. And half of what they're saying probably is true. But they went along with it. They created that monster, you ask me. They went along with it. They, you know, they cheered for it, you know, back then. So why are you getting mad about it now? Quad was showing up 3 hours late seasons ago. And I would be the person, because I believe, you know, I'm always tacking on, always on time, you know. So that would irritate me, you know, that when I get to a scene, I'm ready. Let's kill the scene. Let's do it. Yeah. 3-4 hours late, and I'm like, I'm not waiting on anybody to do a scene. You know, I had a nanny, a driver, you know, and the schedule. Time is money. Right. So, you know, they went along with it and thought it was cute back then, you know. But now you want to complain about it 10 seasons later? Nah, I don't buy that.
Now they doing the rinse and repeat. The same thing they did to you, they doing the Quad.
Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah. But she needs to understand that. She doesn't even want to accept that. She hasn't really, I don't think she's truly let that sink in. You know, you got to be careful how you treat people. And I'm not going to even say karma or anything. I just think you have to be careful how you treat people and what you go along with, because again, what people will do to others in due time, they'll do to you.